And let's see, we've got 3 minutes left, according to my clock. Is your
Yeah.
clock the same? Sometimes it's not.
Well, my intention is to be a good boy in front of all beauties.
Well, especially in front of your beautiful wife. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she really
Yeah,
is. Lynn? Yeah. We ready to let people in? Okay.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to our global healing call. And wow, you all haven't seen me before, but I'm channeling Jaina today. So if I do a good job, it'll go well because she's a hard act to follow. But welcome, welcome everyone. It's good to see your faces here. And we have our team here, which is Vinay and Carol Ray and Katie and Eli, who's going to play some music, and Robin. And I just am very grateful to see you all. Hi, Luke, Beverly, another Katie. Wow, Amy, Raven, so happy you're here. Melissa, yay, she's here. May Chen, so awesome to see you. And there's Jerem and Nehemiah, Mary Ann. I am so, Bridget, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. So here I go. You're at a call for those of you who are new. Hey, Brett. For those of you who are new, we're here because of this book, and I hope it's coming through the right side. You can see it right ways. Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. And on our Sunday calls, we talk about some of the quotes in here, and we get an opportunity to talk about it and explore it in ourselves, because this is a book that's bringing healing into all of our lives. And today's quote, and I'm going to come back to it after we do all the announcements and some music and stuff, but today's quote was given to us by George Rogers, Dr. Clint's dad. And it is, no one can make you mad. Your reaction always comes from inside of you. And I wanted to link that up with one of the principles in the book, which is Atiti Devo Bhava, which Vinay is going to explain a little bit before we do announcements. So Vinay, could you talk about Atiti Devo Bhava? And for anyone who's new, please put your name in the chat so we can properly welcome you. Vinay.
Yeah, thank you so much, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to myself. And it's always pleasure to meet my family. I always call this community as my family, and it's great to be here always.
Vinay, can I interrupt for just one moment? Because I forgot an important thing.
Sure.
Everyone that's on the call, you have the capability of doing closed captions. And for anyone who's speaking another language or needs to see another language, if you're on a tablet, it says CC for closed captions, and you can choose the sound, the speech, or the captions that you hear. And if you're on a tablet, you might have to hit the 3 dots or something that says more and choose what language you'd like to see the captions in or hear them in. And thank you, Vinay, for letting me interrupt, because it crossed my mind. I give it back to you.
Thank you so much. That's how I got a chance to have a water break. Thank you. Okay. Atiti Devo Bhava. It's a beautiful quote from the Sanskrit. It's from the ancient scriptures. This is, I have learned for the first time from Dr. Naram. Of course, I learned these things from my spiritual master. But Atiti Devo Bhava is, Dr. Naram always used to say that we are to be ready to welcome whatever the things happen in our life. Like before we start a call, we have my brother Eli, he's here for the music, and we'll definitely hear the beautiful music from him. And we were just trying to test his sound, and the situation happens always that sometimes what we have thought of and it's not happening. So Dr. Naram says this is a situation like Atiti Devo Bhava. One day, Dr. Naram shared with me about his beautiful communication with his master, where his master given the concept, what exactly you do when things are not happening as per what we have thought of. Yesterday, I heard one beautiful quote from the one of the beautiful ancient story of Mahabharata, that when we want to climb the mountain, whatever we have thought about we have made a plan about going on the mountain.
Recorded.
If somebody wants to say something. Okay. So whatever we have thoughts of, but when we start climbing the mountain, there is always a situation and we have to ready to face that thing. And Dr. Naram's master said, this is a situation called Atiti Devo Bhava. And when we finally on the top of the mountain, and when we analyze everything, we have faced so many situations. At that time, what we have to do? So Dr. Naram's master said, we have to take a pause for a minute. We should have the water and let go the things. Also, Dr. Naram said one more thing related to it. Okay, it is not correct that it is not a thing that always we have to, the thing should be done as per what we have thought of. We have to respect because Almighty God is there. Because sometimes we think that, okay, I have to do these things this way only. Like I want to join to the some financial company, and then I come to in contact with Dr. Naram with a order of my spiritual master, and I join, and that's how I am here today. I joined the Ancient Secrets. But this is that when I started working with Dr. Naram, it was a situation for me. It's like Atiti Devo Bhava. It was unexpected guest in my life. I was from the commerce background and I end up in the medical things. But today I'm very grateful. I'm thankful to my master that with this ancient secret, by learning these things from Dr. Naram, I am able to serve to the so many people. I am able to serve to my family, my community. And this is how things happen. So this is really helpful. And I'm always thankful, grateful to my master, Dr. Naram, and to my family members for giving me support so I can be here. And with these things also, I just would like to share with you. So many of the people knows about these things, but I would like to share my award, what I have earned from about the health consultant. And this is what if I have learned, if I have accepted what my master wants to tell me, and this is what a result of accepting Atiti Devo Bhava, an unexpected guest of ancient secret in my life.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you showed your award, it reminded me of all the PATH students that are on the call, like Robin Lee. And we did, like Robin, we got our awards too because we're finishing our 3-year program. And that is so awesome. I love the fact that you have gotten one. That is, thank you. And that it was from an Atiti Devo Bhava, treating the unexpected guest as if God himself has come. That's beautiful. And I would like now for all of us to learn about what's happening in the community from Carol Ray. Announcements, please.
Oh, yes, one of my favorite things to do but is announcements. But I want to take just a second to have a little joy. Would that be okay? This is a Marma from Dr. Naram, and Marma is open energy, and this is joy. And I'm going to sing this little song, and you don't need to sing along with me right now because it messes up the microphones, but you can certainly, if you're muted, sing away. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart, I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Yay! And when you clap in Dr. Naram clap, it's this way and this way, and that's a marma clap. And marmas are to release energy. And we have so many opportunities for you to learn more about these things in our Ancient Secrets Academy, where we have all kinds of awesome things going on. Right now, we are in month 2 of Ancient Secrets for Emergency Preparedness. And what a blast that we have had in learning about what do you need if you're going to bug out for 72 hours. We've been sharing a grab and go bag and what are the essential things to have if you have to evacuate. This past week, we had our dear beloved Mindy Barrett come and talk to us. She's been in 6 natural disasters, including losing our home in Lahaina, there in Maui, and then recently her family home in Asheville, North Carolina. So she was talking about the emotional sides of loss, that it changes us, it changes everything. So it's a very comprehensive program. We've got 2 more months, so you can still join. I'll ask somebody to please put that link in there. And we're also sharing home remedies and marmas. Part of the course registration is you get this lovely set of cards that you can print out that have recipes for common ailments needed in emergencies. And it also has a host of materials both in Spanish, thank you, Monica, and English. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. It's a donation basis, so anybody and everybody can join. We've got people all over the world. Well over 1,000 people are registered for this course, and we have bonus calls on Saturdays at 10 Pacific, and the regular classes are the first Thursday in the month. So December 5th, I believe, is the next one. So please sign up for that. And we also have art time. Do we have Sarah Bit in the house to talk about art time? Anybody else that could talk about that? I can look for the flyer. And speaking of flyers, let's see, I'm gonna take just one moment here. So I'm a little off kilter, but I think I can recover here. Perhaps if that computer comes back. Let's see.
I don't
I'll
have
just
the
say,
flyer, so if you can pull the flyer up, I can talk a little bit about our time. It happens on the second Wednesday of the month from 10 to about 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, and it is a time that we get to come together and have fun doing whatever art project that the artist who is hosting is whatever their project is. I did one on neurographics, and it was so much fun to come together with different creative people in our community, and we all work on the project as we talk about whatever the topic is we're choosing, and then we show our versions, and it really has been a fun way that we can support the orphanages in Nepal, because the $5 or more donation goes towards supporting the kids in Nepal.
thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate that. And also just to make sure that I cover this, anything you hear today is for your educational and informational purposes only. And we always encourage you to check out your medical issues with professional medical staff and seek the help that you need. Our full disclaimers are on our website and in the books. And as always, talk to your doctor before making any health-related changes, especially if you're on medication. And I can stop that. And I just have to share one little thing that was so joyous for me yesterday. A friend of mine and I were in my little local town. We have 15,000 people here. It's a growing little community in Central Texas. And we had this high school that was taken over. There's all these little shops. I hadn't been in most of them. My friend says, "Hey, let's go into this shop." And there was a section in the back where somebody had made or herbal teas. Long story short, I was talking to the woman who made the teas and mentioned my interest in ancient secrets. And she said, "Oh my gosh, ancient secrets cookbook?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I have your cookbook. It changed my life." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's so exciting in my hometown." And she said, "And I have your pet book. My dog loves ghee. It's so amazing." So, oh my gosh, I know ego can be a problem, but it's so joyous just to know that these books can make a difference in people's lives and it helps the orphans. So, thank you so much for allowing me this time, and I will give it back to you, Debra-Ann.
Oh, thank you so much, Carol. Thank you for the joy and the sharing. And yes, those books have made such an impact on people's lives. And Maggie, I see you're here. Hi, Nasib, Levi. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Jacob, you're Leonard, Luke. I just love seeing your faces. So we have some special music for us before we continue with the theme for the day, which is all about us looking at ourselves. And Eli, please unmute and share with us your beautiful music.
Okay, well, hopefully this works all right. This song is called Golden Hour. And I just finished recording it last night. So, yeah, here we go. Golden hour, gone so fast, here at last. One more day has gone past. I feel the sun set. Why don't you say this time we can dance in your light? We're not tired. Oh, don't you worry, my child, I'll be back tomorrow this time. How about you come back and sing me more of our songs? You can howl at the moon, dance under her nightlight too. If I don't set, we won't rise. We're not tired. We're not tired. We're not tired. We're not tired. Overflow. Days are filled past the brim with chances to dance within. Just let go. Oh, don't you worry, my child, I'll be back tomorrow this time. How about you come back and sing me more of our songs? You can howl at the moon, dance under her nightlight too. If I don't set, we won't rise. We're not tired. 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 Done dancing alone, we are one, we're wired to keep moving like a wildfire. Make a way through the undergrowth. our home. Oh, don't you worry, my child, I'll be back tomorrow this time. How about you come back and sing me more of our songs? You can howl at the moon, dance under her nightlight too. If I don't set, we won't rise. We're not tired. 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 Golden hour, gone so fast, here at last. One more day has gone past. I feel the sun.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Wow, that was awesome.
Great one, brother. Great one.
Thank you so
Very
much.
good.
Thank you.
Love
I
that. It's
love
my
it. It
new
was
mantra. I'm
beautiful.
going to sing it to myself all day long. We're not tired. We're
We're not
wired.
tired. Yeah.
I would love to listen to that all day long.
was-
How can we hear your music?
I have one song on Spotify right now and on Apple Music and on all the other streaming services. It's called Late June. This song I'm going to be putting out soon. I have it on SoundCloud right now. I uploaded it last night and I put it on my YouTube as well. So just eliloving.com, and then you can go and see everything that's out there. So
That was awesome, Eli. Thank you so much for sharing.
thank you so
Woo!
much.
I loved it. Wow. Okay. I get in the moment and now I have to get back to doing what we're supposed to do here.
But
Okay.
while you get back on track, I forgot to mention that there is a magnificent event that people are signing up for now. It's March 2025, and it is the Mystical Nepal Retreat. And there's a group of people who are just coming back for that this October, and it was phenomenal. And a lot of people are excited about going, and you get to spend time up close and personal with our kids from the orphanages that Ancient Secrets Foundation is so proud to sponsor. And we have another new group of kids in the Bridge program where we're helping raise money to get these kids who've aged out of orphanages into a hostel and giving them jobs like barista, haircutting, nail salons, bakers, helping them find a way to support themselves emotionally, physically, spiritually after having lived in these orphanages their entire life. So it's a great cause, and maybe somebody can take that link from the newsletter a week ago and put that in the chat. It's really, I got to go last year and it was absolutely amazing. So I hope you'll join us.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Thank you. So we're not tired. It reminds me, it's how these are concepts that I kind of link together. They have a different focus, but we're not tired reminds me of don't give up hope. You know, Dr. Naram, never give up hope. And I love that. So yeah, that's beautiful. And what I'm going to share with you is kind of linking concepts together too. So Dr. Clint's dad said, no one can make you mad. No one can make you mad. Your reaction always comes from inside of you. And when I picked that and I stepped forward to kind of feel the space that anyone in our community can step up and guide this morning host, I picked that one because that spoke to me about how I've kind of gotten here. But these concepts were right. The TT Devil Bhava to me in somebody making me mad is, oh, it's the other person. But where I came into Ancient Secrets was through Vimala Rogers. And the reason I'm speaking about her and the kind of confirmation I got was we have a few of the teacher trainers from the Vimala Rogers handwriting course in our community. And one of them reached out to me, Patricia O'Halloran, if I said her name right. It's not on here. She said, oh, let me send you the calendar. So before I met Ancient Secrets, I met the alphabet through Vimala Rogers, and I did. I accomplished something that I never thought would ever happen, which was shutting up my internal critic, because my name starts with D, and in the alphabet, the energy of that letter says, the cause of any upset I have is never outside of myself. It's different words, but the same concept. And so as I practiced my letter the way she taught, it was amazing to me. I don't know if y'all experience an internal critic that's not only critical towards yourself, but it's critical towards other people. But for me, the internal critic was very, it was towards myself mostly. And so I would go and be with a group of people, and then I'd spend days with this critic saying, well, you shouldn't have said that, and you shouldn't have done that, or you should have worn something else, this internal critic. And so when I met the Vimala alphabet and started writing my letters the way after the first 40 days, it was kind of an aha moment, because I noticed that critic wasn't there any longer. So Vimala Rogers was the one that introduced me to Ancient Secrets. But the reason I mentioned, so the people in this community that to know Vimala's work, the woman, Patricia, she actually put this calendar together, and she sent it to me from Ireland. She sent it on Tuesday, and they told her it would take weeks to get here. I got it yesterday. And when I got it last night, I went, oh my gosh, what a confirmation. I'm supposed to talk about Vimala. So I learned this idea from the prospect of looking at myself first. If somebody makes me angry, if I'm agitated by someone, it's like, okay, what is it in me? But then I got to the Ancient Secrets and the Titi Devil Baba. And I thought, okay, this now joins that thought, the unexpected guest, which could be an emotion, it could be something that's happening. It could actually be somebody that shows up at your home, right? You treat the unexpected guest as if God himself has come. Well, this whole idea, so the internal critic is asleep. It doesn't talk to me anymore. But the idea of, oh, I still get upset, instead of actually looking only at myself, now I get to look out and look with respect and honor towards whoever or whatever is causing that agitation within me. And so now I get to look at it from two perspectives. So I would love to know if anyone would like to share about a situation where you had something that was very agitating or judgmental or whatever, and you kind of turned that around and you looked at it from a different perspective, and how did that change how you viewed it? Shifra.
Well, I'm really dealing with this now because I have a big problem with anger, and there's an event that happened in our country that I have a lot of angry feelings about, because I don't like when people are disrespected and treated in this manner. And that's just how I feel. I do feel very angry about it. And I hope that we can somehow come together as a world and a country and learn to respect and love everyone. So I need to say that for me. But I remember there was an incident where a woman in my building, I left some laundry in a washing machine. I forgot to take it out. I left it there for a while. And she the anger level was as if I had like murdered her firstborn child. She was screaming at me. And I was kind of stunned, you know, at how much rage was coming toward me. And she actually spoke Hebrew, which I understand about half of, and she was screaming and yelling, and I just didn't know what to do. It was frightening to me. And she was like, "I'm gonna wreck you." And I was like, "Oh my God, like, wow, this is just really incredible." And um I started to get angry a little bit back, and then I just went and I called someone who helps me in these situations, and she said, "Well, how does it feel to be angry?" I said, "Not very good. Have you ever been angry?" And so I thought about it, and I realized that I think I'm a space shot sometimes, that I had been pushing a shopping cart, and I think I bumped it into her without intending to, and that she might have been angry about that. And so I I was desperate, and I thought, you know, I could go to the management, but I just had a feeling that that was not going to serve me well, that it would only come back at me more. I'm not above going to the management, but I just didn't think it was going to work. And I basically just wrote her this letter, and it was Hanukkah season, and she happened to be Jewish. And I don't care what religion people are, but it was a commonality. And I said, you know, I'm really sorry. I had no idea you were so angry at me. I know what it's like to be angry, but I got angry because I got a little scared. But I really, if I bumped my shopping cart into you, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I really didn't mean to hurt you. Um, and I said I would rather be friends with you than enemies. And I said I really wish you the best year. I said we're both Jewish women, and you know, in the season of light, I tried to find a commonality. You know, the point is not that I could have found a different commonality with somebody else, but I found a point of commonality. And I just said, I wish you the best, everything. And partly it came from, I was scared, like, what is this woman going to do to me? I was frightened, honestly. I really was scared because she was so unhinged in her anger, and I just kept on. And I said, look, if we can't be friends, let's just be cordial to one another. And I wish you the best. And while she never came and apologized, she never bothered me again. It totally, and when we would see each other, there was no animosity. I think she was stunned, because I realized it really was like self-preservation, you know, like, what am I going to do? But it was genuine. I genuinely sent her love, because otherwise I thought, you know, I didn't fake it. I laid it on, but I was really sincere. That's what happened. And she stopped being so, you know, she stopped
Thank you,
being so
Debra.
angry. That was my story. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, thank you. I love it. Thank you. You made peace. That was awesome. From anger, which usually anger and fear go hand in hand. And thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Robin.
Yes, I think it's really interesting that this is the topic. So I have this background behind me is the pictures taken from the window of the Ayush Shakti clinic that I spent 14 days doing Panchakarma when I was in India. And it's now one of my favorite pictures. And I would not have figured that I would have this, but I've been working on healing India for about 10 years. And I didn't want to go to India for the first 2 years of Path because I wasn't done healing India. And I took this picture a couple of days after the day that's called the Virechan Day, the detox day, where you're letting a lot of stuff go. And you were supposed to walk. And a long time. So I'm walking in the hall so I can be close to the bathroom. And every time I come to this window, I would look out and I'd see all the blue tarps on the roofs and how India looked. And I would get a gauge of how much aggravation was still in me about India. And and I wound up clearing, I'm not going to talk too long. I think I'll probably wind up hosting a call and having this as the theme. But when I took this picture, it was, I think 1 or 2 days later, and I woke up and the sunrise was so pretty. I'm like, I have to go and get my phone and take a picture. And I'm like, this is not how I saw India before. I had cleared so much stuff, and I thought to clear it on the empathic level, and all of a sudden, India looked different. And one of the things that I love is that when we are in this community, we're supported to heal on every level. And I want to say, Shifra, the time will come when you can be so clear and light, because I would not think that before that I could have such a light attitude towards India. Like, I started to fall in love with what I would see going, out the window as we were riding in the bus. And so it's whatever it takes to do the healing so that we can come with a different attitude is totally worth it. We don't know how long it's going to take, right? I've been trying to heal India for 10 years, and it's been happening in increments. And now I'm falling in love with India. Like, who knew? So that's my share.
I love it, Robin. As you were sharing, it reminded me of my experience last year when I went to India. And we're talking about the upset we feel inside. So when I arrived in India, and it was at night, and we were driving through the city streets of Mumbai, I saw all of these dogs. I mean, I've never seen so many dogs in my life. They were everywhere and sleeping in the street and everything. And I was just so very sad. The sadness was so heavy. So that was in me. So I'm thinking about it and wondering about it, and knowing that what it's drawing on something inside. Well, the perspective I had was all the animals need to be taken care of, right? Because that's how we do it in our country. We provide them with dog food, a place to sleep, and all that other thing. But as my days continued there, I saw the dogs in a different way, and the dogs are free. The dogs are free. And I all of a sudden had that sensation was the dogs are free. They have nobody telling them where they have to sleep, what they get, and none of them look hungry. They all find food. It's like when I walk down the street and they walk by me, it's like another person walking by me. It's like they have their own life and they're free. And I thought, okay, that changed inside of me. It opened a door inside of me, which was lovely. And I had never had any thoughts about India. My thoughts were all when I encountered India and I fell in love with India. So thank you for sharing, Robin. That was very awesome. Thank you. Nehemiah, please share. You're still muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
I could respond to everyone that spoke before me, but that will take too much time. So I'll just respond to you, Deborah. And also it's also response to Rabbi, because it's connected. So basically, Deborah, you and me share something which most humanity don't. Most people inclined to blame others. That's the way the ego works. But you and me are inclined to blame ourselves. Like we are there with the four fingers that up. So I know that it will work. And now I'm in a place, I'll just share this moment of transformation and where I am now. The moment of transformation, there were a few of them. Being with a living master, they've been with Dr. Naram and with another guru that he has, make a big difference because they are an example of somebody who went beyond that, And in one of the courses I did with many people that were there, I was crying like crazy because I remember all my childhood being an orphan my mother committing suicide. My father died before I even was aware when I was 3 months in a war that he tried to prevent on defending Jerusalem. And all this was coming, and what we call a deprived childhood, being sent from one mother to another. And every time I connect to one mother, she's giving me milk, I'm sending it to another adopted mother, like my aunts and all this, because my mother couldn't grow me up. And all of a sudden, I start to see how much love my mother is sending me from heaven. How much she is sending me the woman that I'm ready for. I wasn't ready to be full, but she's sending me. I could see how in my life, so much love, how someone came and people knew that I was orphan and just struck me on the head. And till this day, I remember this woman in the kibbutz. She just struck me on top of the head because she felt this compassion. All of a sudden, I felt all this, and I felt, yes, I had a wonderful childhood. I just have to see it. So the point I'm trying to make now I'm in a place of literally no blame land. I don't blame anybody. I'm not here to judge anybody. Everybody is going in his own way. That's my non-dualistic place. And I don't, whether if other people blame me, blame others, that's okay. And if people blame me, I make mistake and I learn. That's all. So I miss the point and then I come back to the center as much as I can. But what I want to say, let me see if it's come clear, that we have different perspective because we are not enlightened yet. So it's all, the scripture says the world is as you see it. We see part of the world and we believe that's it, but it's just a projection, the part that we can see. And once we become clear, which I'm working on and we're all working on, we don't have this projection anymore. We just see things, we see part of this big hologram. God, spirit, whatever we call it, creates such a complex hologram. Even the realized beings, they just see part of the hologram, but they see it clearly. They see it clearly. And I want to see things clearly so I can understand where I need to balance myself because I still have a lot of work to do. And the last thing is a question for you, Deborah. I've been studying the secret of the alphabet in ancient secrets, in ancient language. Hebrew, I'm not expert in it. It's a mystery. In Hebrew, in Sanskrit, and in Arabic. Arabic, I'm just starting. And this ancient language have secret of sound and form in these letters. Like in Hebrew, it's 22 letters, and in Sanskrit, it's 50 letters, and they have a lot of secrets in them, especially if you go to the sound. Does your Nirmala, does she speak about the English alphabet, the modern alphabet, as being is having the secret, or she's going to one of the ancient language? Because that's very mysterious for me, because I never thought that the modern languages have the secret. So please enlighten me, and maybe other people also.
Okay, Nehemiah, that's a very in-depth question. I'll have to tell you, she studied Sanskrit, she studied all the alphabets, and she believed that the English alphabet carries the 26 characteristics of actually 52, but from the ancient scriptures, 26 characteristics, highest characteristics of a human being. And her alphabet, the idea is sort of like opposite of graphology, where you can tell a person's personality based on the way they form their letters on the page. Her alphabet is about transformation. So it's a real meditative process too, where you actually draw your letters in the way that actually changes your subconscious mind. And so in changing your subconscious mind, there are these 52 characteristics that you can develop, the highest characteristics of a human being.
52 in English, or in Sanskrit?
So there are 26 letters in our alphabet, but there are 26 what she calls ligatures, 2 letters that wish to be joined together. And so it's very comprehensive and very simple, but comprehensive and deep. Yeah. So if you want to check it out, it's worth it.
I definitely do, because it's one of my main field, and I need to understand. I'm kind of, sorry to say, I'm trying to come from the art, but I'm kind of intellectual, so I'm checking things also intellectually.
Very good. Enjoy it when you check it out. Julie. Thank you, Nehemiah.
Hello, namaste. Anger, I felt like I should say something since it's my literal number one. It's high pitta, and I'm prone to anger my whole life. I feel like I came in fighting for justice, and it's a very deep sense. So every day this is aggravated in me to some extent, but it's my trigger to go inwards. I studied Sanskrit and the Tibetan Buddhist way for a long time, and they in their yoga have a saying, it's Hluksam Namdak in Tibetan, which means 100% personal responsibility. So I take 100% personal responsibility for everything I see in my external world. And therefore, I see it as a gift from God, that Atiti Devo Bhava, using the ancient secrets in the Indian language, Sanskrit really. And, that way I don't have blame. So I don't have, somebody asked me about the election. That's a bigger story, but I said I was indifferent. I had no emotion. It's just lila. It's divine play. It's for you, not against you. And it's not just that. I mean, that is just one tiny example. I mean, some people think it's a big example, but whatever example it is for you, we're all different, and we're all in different places in ourselves of our own enlightenment, so to speak. And for me, anger has been I don't know, it's like, it's the guru. Guru means heavy, it weighs heavy on my life. So I use it as my great teacher, and it helps me to go deep inside of myself and to take that personal responsibility. And I get fiery. And this is why I love the ancient secrets so much, because it's helped me to see it not just as an emotional trigger from my past and my trauma. It's actually could be food induced. Oh my God. It was like the best thing in the world. And I use that as medicine for other people to help them understand that what you eat also triggers your emotional being. Maybe it's not always this deep trauma that you have, although, we all have quite a bit of that. But let's look at all the other things, right? The 6 levels of the ancient secrets. And for me, that's why this teaching has it's really the glue for everything. It's just bringing everything that I've ever learned together. It doesn't mean that I don't get angry and all the things, but that's also for a reason. There's a reason I'm high pitta, right? There's a reason for all this. And so now I'm at the point in my life where I'm trying to balance everything with my intentions and my heart, right? So maybe I'm fired up because I'm supposed to say something and not keep suppressing it just so that I, don't piss other people off and have them come at me, so I'm in that balancing. So I'm in the 30-day detox. So as I'm balancing all my doshas, I'll have a clearer insight into what is true, right? That's another layer of that deep going inward, of what is true for me, not for you. It's what's true for me. And I don't need to speak it. Because what's true for you is going to be different than me. So I'm not out there fighting for anything, because I believe it's all lila, divine play. So I'm dancing, right? That's the Shiva, the Nataraj, the dancing through the cosmos. That's my intention, is to do good and to help as many people as I can wherever they're at, and to not be triggered by them. And if I am, it's just a reflection of what's going on within me, and then to take that and move forward. Well, left, right, back, there's no time, space dimension. But so, yeah, as far as that goes. That is my number one. So
Thank you, Julie. That was very comprehensive and very clear. I appreciate your sharing. Very nice. I love it. I
Thank you
absolutely
so
love
much, Julie. Thank you so much, Julie. That was great.
That was great. Shifra, I'm going to let Carol speak because I know we need to do breakout rooms also, and I'm aware of the time at this moment. Carol?
I just wanted to share two things. One is I was lucky to have a good therapist back in the 80s when I was going through a very tumultuous divorce. And like, he makes me so mad. I can't stand it. I could kill him. I'm so mad. And so my therapist taught me a wonderful lesson. He said, okay, I'm going to make you mad. Okay. I'm going to insult you. I'm going to call you names. I'm going to make fun of everything I can make fun about. Is that okay? Because I'm really going to make you mad. I'm like, no, you're not. He goes, oh, yeah, I'm going to make you mad. I'm like, no, you're not. And he goes, oh, you mean you can control that? Never thought about that. So to me, that's really important that we can control that. That is within us. It wasn't him. It was my reaction to him. Right. And then the second point was a lovely one by Dr. Naram, and Vinay probably knows these better than I, but I know that there was a situation in Germany when they were there doing a pulse clinic, that a man who had been a Nazi guard had come in, and he was tormented by a lot of the things that had happened, that he had been responsible for. And yet Dr. Naram gave him what he needed. He gave him unconditional love. He gave him understanding, and he helped him regardless of who he was and what he'd done in his past, because that's the Siddhaveda way. That's the love way. And the same thing when someone came into the clinic in Mumbai, and Dr. Naram said, what do you want? And he said, I want to kill as many Hindi people as possible. Do you want to tell that story right quick, Vinay? Because it's such a beautiful one.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that thing. I will say in very short way. During there was people were aware of that thing, that there were the riots were going on before 25 years, and we had a clinic of Dr. Naram, and one day the one Muslim guy came, and he was called as a namazi because he used to offer the prayer for the 5 times. So he came, and he was leaking so anger with his family, and he was doing the so much of aggression and fighting with and shouting with everyone. So I informed Dr. Amke such and such person has come. So he can, no worries, let him come in. So when he entered at the time also, he was looking so aggressive, and Dr. Am was watching him. When his turn come, when he came in front of Dr. Naram, and Dr. Naram just took his pulse, and by pressing the index finger, he asked him, what do you want? So he said, I want to get better my knees, and I want to. So Dr. Naram asked, what you will do if your knees get better? He said, I will go and hit the Hindus because of such and such things. But at that time, Dr. Ram asked the question, I'm also Hindu. Will you going to hit me also? So he said, no, sir, this is the thing. But the way Dr. Ram has given his love, unconditional love to him, and after many years he came, and he every time he used to come over there, and Dr. Ram does this marma unknowingly, without knowing anyone. He used to press his index finger. He used to tap here by saying very good. So this is the thing, that how he transformed the person. And there are so many stories, but this is one of the things that without having the fear or without having any intention, Dr. Am just believed in the ancient secret lineage, and I want to serve this person. And with that concept, Dr. Am has done these things. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Vinay. Shivra, I love you, but we've got someone who hasn't spoken yet. I'm going to call Luke.
Thank you, Ann, Debra-Ann. So I wasn't going to speak, but I was kind of identified and resonated with what Julie said. So I came into this world angry, rageful. Once I asked my mother, what was my birth like? And she said, I came in with a red face. And I had issues with my skin on my face and neck for many, many years. It's all healed now. So I came with a red face. I was born in, I have a theory. I'm pretty sure I'm correct about this because I've been dealing with anger and impatience my whole life. But I had a transformation about that, which I'll tell you about in a moment. I was born in 1950. And that was the year the communist Chinese invaded Tibet. Now, I know I was a Tibetan monk before, and that was verified by an enlightened spiritual teacher I was with for 15 years named Rama, and he told me what it was like, and I sense it in me. So that was the year the communist Chinese invaded Tibet. And I came in with this anger and rage and a sense of injustice. And I just always would get angry at anything that was injustice. Even if I watched a movie and there was an injustice, it would really touch me in an angry way. And sometimes just rageful. And I dealt with that most of my life with my parents, with friends. I grew up in the streets of Brooklyn, New York. I was in many, many street fights. And this is how I lived my life. And even though I knew I was a spiritual being and I was an artist, I had a very sensitive side to myself. I had a very angry and rageful side of myself. And it was about injustice. Well, in 2018, I had a profound spiritual awakening. It was a palpable transformation of one way of being to another. And in that, I had an enormous heart opening. And all the anger from my entire lifetime melted away. And it's still that way now. I don't get emotionally involved with a lot of things that other people do, like the recent election and so on. But I still get impatient sometimes. And the biggest thing that triggers my impatience is driving behind slow drivers. When I'm driving and I'm behind a slow driver, I get so impatient and I know I'm putting out this bad energy. But here's the difference between now and before. The moment I realize I'm doing that, I stop myself. Even after I put out that anger, I stop myself. And I send them, even though they can't hear me because they're in front of me in a car, I send them love and I inwardly apologize and let them know I'm really sorry for, you drive however you need to drive. So at least I'm dealing with it now. I'm dealing with the impatience because like I said, driving behind slow drivers is one of the biggest triggers for me. But I've learned to send love. So for me, the lesson in all this is when you come from your heart in life, that's the place where you could transform anger into love. And that's what has happened for me.
That is so beautiful, Luke. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I beg your patience, Sushifra. I know you have something important to say, and I think it's going to be said in a breakout room because it's getting to be that time. And I wanted to say thank you for sharing, everyone. We have strong emotions. I have had in my life, just like Luke was sharing, very strong emotions, spent most of my life blaming the world and everybody else for my situation until I actually, took responsibility for myself and my emotions. And then I had to take responsibility for what do I want. And that was a big transformation for me in this community. So because my life challenge based on the Vimal alphabet was related to how the name that I got when I was born, which was Debra-Ann, and it starts with a D. And that's why I bring you the energy of the D, which says the cause of any upset I have, it doesn't matter what the upset is, doesn't matter the cause of any upset I have is never outside myself. And once I learned to live that, it has changed my whole life. And then the ancient secrets put the spin on it with Atiti Devo Bava. And I need to ask Carol if we have breakout rooms.
I have not
I've
done
got
that.
them set up.
Oh, awesome, Robin. Okay.
Go, Robin.
So we have, everyone has things to share, and you have all the time you need to share in the breakout room. And I'm going to say Thank you so much. Are we going to do our little sign off?
Yes, let's
So
do it.
everybody can go to the breakout room.
Love you and I'm
Un-
with you.
Unmute yourselves. I love you and I'm with
Love
you.
you.
Love you and I'm
Love
with
you and
you.
I
I'm with
love you and I'm with
Love you
you.
and I'm
Love you
with
and I'm with you.
you.
Love you and
Love
I'm with
you and
you.
I'm with
Love you.
you.
Love you and I'm with
Love
you.
you
Everybody,
and
Love
I'm
you
with
and I'm with
you.
may
you.
peace of
Love you
God
and I'm
be
with you.
Love
with
you and
you.
I'm with
I love
I
you and
you.
I'm
love
with
you
you.
and
Love
I'm
you and
Love
I'm with
you.
you.
With you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.